The court accepts the probation violation admission and finds that it's knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made.
Okay, so today we're jumping right into a story that's unfolding as we spook Chris Brown's arrest over in Manchester. We're working from a news report from U.S. newspaper, dated today, May 15th, 2025, so it's fresh information.
Right.
And our aim here really is to unpack the key details. You know, what exactly happened with the arrest, what's this alleged incident it stems from, and what could this mean, especially for his big Breezy Bowl XX tour.
Okay, yeah. So the headline fact is the arrest itself happened early this morning, Thursday the 15th.
In Manchester.
In Manchester, yeah. At the Lowry Hotel, the report says. And it was Metropolitan Police officers who made the arrest.
Okay, the Met Police in Manchester. That seems slightly unusual geographically.
Well, often specialist units or officers involved in an ongoing London-based investigation might travel if the subject appears elsewhere in the UK. It suggests it's directly linked to a London case.
Right, okay, that makes sense. Because this arrest isn't about something new that happened in Manchester, is it? It's linked back.
Exactly. The reason given is suspicion of causing grievous bodily harm, and it connects directly back to an alleged incident involving a bottle attack in a London nightclub.
Which happened way back in February 2023.
That's the one. February 19th, 2023, Tape nightclub in Mayfair, London. It seems like the authorities were perhaps waiting for him to be back in the country.
Okay, so let's talk about that alleged incident. The victim name is a music producer, Abe Diaw.
Yes.
Abe Diaw. What does he claim happened? Because grievous bodily harm sounds pretty serious.
It does. Diaw alleges that Brown hit him with a tequila bottle. The article is very specific. It actually mentions a Don Julio 1942 bottle.
Wow, that's specific.
Yeah. And then claims Brown followed up by repeatedly punching and kicking him.
Okay, that's a violent accusation. What about injuries?
The report states Diaw needed hospital treatment, mentions head lacerations, torn ligaments, so yeah, significant injuries alleged there. It also says Diaw claimed he was knocked unconscious for about 30 seconds.
And this led to more than just a police report, right? There's a lawsuit involved.
Yes, a big one. Diaw filed a civil lawsuit against Brown seeking $16 million. That's about $12 million.
$16 million.
Yeah.
That says a lot about how seriously he views the damages and injuries.
Absolutely. A figure like that usually covers, medical bills, lost work, pain, suffering, and potentially punitive damages, which are meant to punish really bad behavior.
Okay, so fast forward to this week. Brown arrives in Manchester. When was that? Yesterday.
The day before the arrest, yeah. Flew in on a private jet on the afternoon of May 14th.
And the police basically knew he was there and moved in.
That seems to be the case. The article suggests his arrival in the UK prompted them to act on the investigation from the 2023 incident. Arrested at the hotel and presumably taken to a local station for questioning.
Did the police themselves say anything official?
There's a statement mentioned. It's quite formal, as you'd expect. Confirms a 36-year-old man was arrested at a Manchester hotel after 2 a.m. on May 15th. It links the arrest to an incident at a venue in Hanover Square. That's where Tape nightclub is on February 19th, 2023. And it names the investigating unit, Central West Area Basic Command Unit Detectives.
So no names, but confirms the core details, the time, the link to the past incident, the location. Standard procedure, I guess.
Pretty much. They keep it broad during an active investigation, protects the process, but confirms it's a serious, ongoing matter.
Now, the timing on this is, well, it's significant, isn't it? He's gearing up for this Breezy Bowl X tour.
Huge tour, celebrating 20 years in the business.
And he had UK shows planned for next month, June 2025. Manchester, London, Birmingham, Glasgow. Major venues. What does an arrest like this do to those plans?
Oh, it throws a massive spanner in the works. Potentially.
How so?
Well, you've got several potential issues. Could there be bail conditions that restrict travel, visa implications for entering or staying in the country? Then there's the negative publicity aspect, which is already happening.
Right.
Promoters might get nervous, insurance could be affected, and of course fans holding tickets are going to be wondering if the shows will even happen.
So you'd see postponements, cancellations.
It's all on the table, realistically. An ongoing investigation for GBH is serious business. It creates a lot of uncertainty, financially and logistically, for everyone involved in a big tour like that.
And look, we have to mention, this isn't exactly new territory for Chris Brown regarding legal problems. The article touches on it briefly.
No, it's not. The 2009 assault conviction involving Rihanna is obviously the most high-profile incident. That had a huge impact.
And there was the restraining order from Courage Tran in 2017, too.
Correct. So this latest arrest, Well, it fits into a pattern that his critics often point to. It adds to that narrative of alleged violence.
For sure. It makes the public conversation around it very complicated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You have the successful artist, the fan base, and then these recurring serious legal issues.
Exactly. His career seems constantly shadowed by these kinds of controversies.
One last point from the article. It notes that as of press time, there was no comment from Chris Brown's team. Is that typical?
Very typical. Standard practice, really. In the immediate hours after an arrest, especially for something serious, the legal team needs time.
Time to figure things out.
Yeah, gather information, understand the specifics of the police case, advise their client. They wouldn't want to issue any statement that could potentially cause problems down the line. Silence is often the first step while they strategize. We'll probably hear something official, but it might take a little while.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the situation as we understand it from this report. Chris Brown arrested in Manchester this morning.
Yep.
It's linked to suspicion of GBH stemming from that alleged bottle attack incident in a London club back in early 2023.
The Abe Diaw case, yeah. Which also involves that multi-million-dollar civil suit.
Right. And now, this arrest throws his big 20th anniversary UK tour, scheduled for next month, into serious doubt. All happening against the backdrop of his past legal history.
That sums it up pretty well. It's clearly an ongoing investigation. A lot still needs to play out. We don't know the strength of the evidence, what charges, if any, might be formally brought, or how his defense will respond. Lots of unanswered questions.
Definitely. And, it really makes you pause and think about celebrity and the legal system, doesn't it? How past actions or alleged actions can suddenly reappear and have these huge consequences, not just for the individual, but for fans, for planned events. It raises questions about accountability, about how we view public figures with troubled histories, and just that whole intersection of fame, personal conduct, and public perception. Something to definitely keep an eye on.